Jerusalem, right? We're opposite the great big synagogue, and we're going to be joining the march in like another hour. But before then, I'm sitting here in a conference of the Likud Party. Likud Party is the party that led the leadership of the country for several years in the last few decades. And today, we are, unfortunately, they are in the opposition. But many people here who took decision makers were ministers and members of Knesset, members of parliament, and various different leadership positions in the Israeli government. I'm going to speak to a few of them and have them talk to us and tell us a little bit about their feelings towards Temple Mount. I will be very happy to introduce them. But before that, I just want to remind you all, we're on a big day campaign day for changing the music on Temple Mount. Today again, when we ascended Temple Mount, those of you who followed our live video, you're welcome to go see it if you didn't. Those of you who followed our live video, we saw there were sounds and voices that shouldn't be there on Temple Mount. Should not be at a holy place. These are voices that should not be at a holy place. On a holy place, we should have voices of prayer, of joy, of shalom, not of hatred. So today, we're here calling upon you to help us. Let's change the music on Temple Mount. Let's return Zion to Zionism. Let's make the Temple Mount holy again. We are calling upon you to go into our campaign page. The campaign page is Jerusalem55.org/SJF, Shalom Jerusalem Foundation, SJF. That's Jerusalem55.org/SJF. We need you, today more than ever. We need you to promote this revolution that we're doing. We need you to promote the change that needs to be done. I've done it in the past decade with your support. The number of Jews who were ascending Temple Mount just a decade ago were very few, less than 1,000 a year. Today we're up to close to 50,000. That was because of the activity. I want to remind you, 7 years ago, I survived an assassination attempt. I can say I gave my portion. I did what I should do. And now I need your support. What are you willing to do to make that change on Temple Mount? Are you willing to make a small donation? Those of you who can, of course, you're welcome to make a big donation. But those of you who want to just make a small donation, every amount counts. You can't do $5,000? Do $1,000. You can't do $1,000? Do $500. You can't do $500? Do $100. Do whatever you can. We need you today more than ever. Jerusalem needs you. Jerusalem is calling upon you. I'm going to go over and see if I can get the former deputy speaker of the Knesset, Moshe Feiglin, and we'll see if he's going to say a few words to us. So we're going to go over to him. I'm going to catch him with the watermelon in his mouth. We're going to catch him with the watermelon in his mouth, and we're going to see if we can get a few words from him. Moshe, I know you're with the watermelon in your mouth, but I want a few words with you if you can. We're here on a broadcast. Millions of people watching us around the world on the Shalom Jerusalem Foundation Facebook page. We're on a campaign today called Change the Music on Temple Mount. Change the music. No more music of violence. No more. It's 55 years. Enough is enough. The time has come to change the music on Temple Mount. You have a long time known for your promoting and advocating Temple Mount. Share with our audience today what your feelings are today and in general for what has to be done on Temple Mount.
I was never more optimistic about what's going on Temple Mount, on the creation, on the revival of the Jewish sovereignty on Temple Mount than today. Because what happened today? I tried to get in, and I couldn't. There were too many people.
Moshe, you were always had a good sense of humor.
Oh, it was not. I'm serious. I'm serious. There are over 1,000 people trying to get into this narrow gate of going up to Temple Mount, and as you well known, for almost 30 years, we begging the Jews to come. I always ask myself, how come we see all these Arabs going to the Temple Mount and Jews coming small numbers? It's the first time in my career, okay, that I see the opposite. And Chazal tells us that when King Achashverosh took off his ring and gave to Haman, that was stronger than all the longing and carrying on and asking the Jews for the good faith. Gdolah hasarat tabat, right? The people in Israel felt in the last year when a government that basically gave the Arabs in Israel to put their hand on the wheel of the state of Israel, basically gave them the country, okay? The people of Israel felt that the basic sovereignty, that the Jewish state that we created after 2,000 years, with God mercy, is being taken away from us. And they realize that the key of holding the entire land lays over there on the Temple Mount. And that what brought all these thousands of Jews to the Temple Mount. I
want to ask you,
but those felt better being crowded, but so many people.
But now those thousands of Jews who went on to Temple Mount, thousands of Jews today went on Temple Mount. What do you think they have to do from now on? Is that they finished? They went on Temple Mount. What is the mission to promote? What is next step in Zionism?
The next step is doing it again. If you're Jewish and you did not make Aliyah yet, that's the time to do it.
Many of our crowd are not Jewish, and we're telling them the temple has to be a house of prayer for all nations.
First of all, I'm talking to the
Jewish crowd.
Jewish crowd. Jews have nothing to do out of the Holy Land. If you're Jewish and you're not coming to Israel, most chances are that your grandchildren will not be Jewish anymore. Okay? There's the concept of exile do not exist anymore. Once most of the Jews came back to the land of Israel, there's no concept of Judaism without the Jewish land under your feet. We were blessed, as funny as it sounds, with the concept of exile. No other nation could keep its identity out of its sovereign land besides the Jews. That is over. If you're not coming back to your land, God gave us back our land. If you're giving up on that and you think you can remain Jewish without it, forget it. Your kids, your grandchildren will not be Jewish. To keep your Jewish identity today, you have to come back to Israel. That's first of all for the Jews. For the Jews that are in Eretz Israel, go to the Temple Mount. That's another aliyah, okay? That's another aliyah that you have to do. You have to do this aliyah from wherever you are, from Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Netanya, Chedera, Beersheba, Haifa. Make the time, all the time, to go to the Temple Mount, because today you conquer the Temple Mount with your feet, not with guns, with your feet, with your existence. That's why I'm so happy to see all these Jews. And to the non-Jews, you should know that the revival of the entire world depends on the revival of the Jewish people in the Jewish land, in Jerusalem, and God willing, as soon as we can, in Beit HaMikdash, in the temple, on the Temple Mount. There is no other way around it. And you know what? You know who I heard understood it over 300, almost 400 years ago? I was amazed to see it. Did you ever hear about Newton?
Oh yes, of course. Newton was a big fan of the temple, and he thought the whole physics.
He
was
wrote
based
it.
on the temple.
He wrote it and said there will be no, exactly what I said now. There will be no revival of humanity until the Jews will come back and build.
But you know, before Newton was Isaiah and Jeremiah and the Bible.
So I'm talking about Newton and later on Balfour. Why did we get the Balfour Declaration? Because non-Jews understand that until the descendants of the Nevi'im, of the prophets, will go back to the homeland, to the Holy Land, and the language of the Bible, the language of the prophet will be heard again on the hills of Judea. Okay, until that happens, scenes like we saw in World War I and World War II. Okay, people will keep on fighting with her. There won't be peace. There won't be a harmony between humanity and between humanity and itself, and humanity and our God in heaven, and it all depends on us.
Moshe Feiglin, former Deputy Speaker of the Knesset. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to continue and speak to some more people. I think we have some very interesting candidates, Prime Minister here, and this is the leadership party of Israel. Maybe temporarily we're maybe not in the government, but I think we can try to see if we can reach some of our leading leaders. Here, I want to try to see if I can reach a candidate for Prime Minister Amir Peretz. Nir, shalom. This is the broadcast of my Facebook page. And people from all over the world who are watching, lovers of Israel, many of them non-Jewish. And they want to know what is Jerusalem Day all about, and they want to know what you, as a candidate for the next Prime Minister, what do you feel?
Introduce me a bit differently.
Okay, Nir Barkat, mayor of Jerusalem for so many years, for a decade, made so many changes in Jerusalem, a lover of Jerusalem, and maybe one day Prime Minister of the State of Israel.
And a Jerusalemite all his life. All my life.
So here, please talk to.
I was 7 years old in the '67 war, when Jerusalem was reunited again after thousands of years. And I remember the adults crying at the tail end of the war, and I couldn't understand why they're crying from joy, from understanding that history is unfolding. Exactly. And so I was born. I remember the city when it was divided. We lived about less than a kilometer away from the border, and I was not allowed to go outside too far because of snipers. And thank God today the city is reunited and will always stay like that. And thank God we're building it, and it's taking an amazing, beautiful role in our lives. And to all people of the world, I really want to wish everyone a Chag Sameach, which is happy holiday, because it is a national holiday today. And there's no doubt in my mind that Jerusalem will continue to strive and succeed, and we'll do everything we can to make Jerusalem the jewel, the crown jewel in Jerusalem.
One of our major things was, let's make Jerusalem holy again. Let's bring Zion back to Zionism. Let's change the music. No more music of violence, only music of joy and prayer and singing.
Yeah, and don't get too excited from all the threats of the terrorists. We just move on and make sure they realize that if, God forbid, they do anything, they'll pay a heavy price. We move on with our lives, not deter, and certainly not react to terror. We move on.
I want to Nir Barkat. Any of you who come to visit Jerusalem, the big bridge at the entrance of Jerusalem, that's Nir Barkat. The whole new high-tech entrance of Jerusalem, that's Nir Barkat. The first station, that's Nir Barkat. He's what was the mayor of Jerusalem for 10 years, and he's continuing full power. And I'm calling upon you. Join us today. Change the music on Temple Mount, and let's bring a change to the world. I'm going to try to see if I can get to speak to some other. We have a representative here. Can you speak to people from all over the world a little later? Okay. Maybe let's see if we can have. We'll see a little later. Okay. Let's just see. Maybe here's Amir Ochana. We'll have Amir come here. I need you for a few minutes. For a minute. Amir, we're speaking on the. We're speaking. Amir was the former Minister of Interior Security. He was the one who made the major changes on Temple Mount. Today, he's one of the leaders of the Likud party, And I want to hear him to share what he feels when he sees today that so many thousands of people came to Jerusalem and so many thousands that went up to Temple Mount. Tell me, what is your feeling today? You're talking to the crowd of the Shalom Jerusalem Foundation Facebook page. Thousands of people all over the world, Jewish and non-Jewish, who love Israel.
Thank you for watching me. It's the dream of generations coming true. You know, for 100 generations, Jews all over the world, from Poland to Yemen to Morocco to Russia, were dreaming and yearning and praying to one thing. And it is next year in Jerusalem. You can imagine that for 2,000 years, year after year, next year in Jerusalem, next year in Jerusalem. And we are so fortunate to live in times and in generations that came back to Jerusalem, and this time never to live again, God willing. And it is a very happy day that signifies that connection between us, between the Jewish people of many thousands of years, and our city, Jerusalem, which is not only the capital city of Israel, but also the capital city of the Jewish people.
We are here today calling upon the world to support us in a direction of changing the music on Temple Mount. No more music of hatred, of violence, of stone throwing. Only music of prayer and joy and happiness and love and shalom. So if you can call and tell our people and ask them to support this campaign, I'll be very happy.
Yehudah, you are one of those who was leading the way. And for me, you taught me a lot about the importance of the connection between the Jewish people and the Temple Mount. I was fortunate enough to visit there. I think as Minister of Public Security, I gave some decisions, and we have, thank God, more Jews going on Temple Mount than ever, and even saying Shema Israel, which is perfectly fine, it's perfectly okay. And I think we should go furthermore. We should be able to allow every Jew not only to go on Temple Mount, but also to pray, to worship. And this is democracy. This is real freedom. And this is what you stand for, Yehudah. And peace, of course. And this is what we stand for.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Amir Ohana, former Minister of Interior Security, but also future leadership of the State of Israel. Thank you so much. So as you can see, we have various different ministers here. Maybe we'll try to see a very interesting young man, Gadi Barkan. He was today, the Ethiopian community, not only marking the Jerusalem Day, but also remembering 4,000 of the community that passed away on the walk to Israel, on the fulfilling the dream to be part of the State of Israel. Gadi was a former deputy minister of Interior Security, together with Amir Ohana was the security minister. Gabi, you're going to speak in Hebrew and I'll translate it in English. Okay. Gadi, איך אתה מרגיש היום ביום ירושלים, שהוא גם יום הזיכרון לבני הקהילה שנפטרו בדרך לארץ ישראל?
קודם כל זה יום של חזון, מימוש חזון נביא ישראל.
Gadi says it's a day of fulfilling the visions of the prophets.
ואנחנו, הדוגמה הלכה למעשה, שהלכנו ברגל לירושלים.
We, the Ethiopian community, were an example. Actually, we implemented it personally. We walked on our feet from Ethiopia to Jerusalem.
לכן אני אומר חג שמח לכל עם ישראל בגלות ובמיוחד בארץ ישראל. ואשרינו שזכינו ליום הזה.
And he's wishing happy holiday to all the people all over the world and in Israel. Thank you so much, Gadi, and good luck. And we're going to continue finding some real major leaders of the State of Israel that are here with us today. These are people who were all ministers and members of parliament for several years. And they're all actually here, and they want to march on the march. Let's just see if we can get, I'm going to, Galit Distal, maybe she'll want to talk to us. Galit, Shalom, hello. You are on one of the most important TV stations in the world. It's called my Facebook page. And it's in honor of Jerusalem. We have thousands of people watching all over the world. Really? Jews and non-Jews, lovers of Israel. And
All
and
lovers of Israel are friends of
wonderful. So here, Galit, what do you want to say to them in honor of Jerusalem Day, in honor of the Temple Mount, whatever? The floor is yours.
It's a great day. It's a happy day. It's an important day. It's a symbolic day. It's a day when we represent this city as the heartbeat of our religion, of our nation, of who we basically are. I was born in Jerusalem. I was raised in Jerusalem. Coming here every time, once and once again, it's the atmosphere, the building, the stones, the people, everything. I feel like I'm home. I feel like I belong here. And there's no other day like Jerusalem Day to represent it and to celebrate it without fear, without apologizing. This is our house. This is our land. It was given out to us by God. And come and celebrate with us, with flags and everything.
Yeah, Galit is a member of Knesset only for a year, but many, many people refer to her as one of the future leadership of the State of Israel. And therefore, I want you to give us a little bit of that vision. How do you vision the State of Israel with the leadership of the Likud for the next in the next decade?
I want Israel to be as prosperous as it is now, and mainly the safe home of every single Jew around the world. A democratic home, a successful home, and a home that ensures that the Jewish people will live forever safely, without not without any enemies. There will always be enemies. This is what I believe. But to take the Israeli power and the Israeli strength and to combine it with our Jewish heritage and to show the world that we can be democratic and enlightened and eagering for peace, and at the same time to say bravely to everyone who wants to hear, this is our house, this is our land. We didn't take it from anyone. We came back home, and we're going to stay here forever. This is my vision for Israel.
Remember the name, Galit Distal Taverian. You're going to say, where did you first hear it? You heard about it here. Today, we had thousands of people on Temple Mount. We are promoting a campaign, change the music on Temple Mount. No more violence, no more hatred, only music of praise, of joy, of prayer. Just say one last word, how you feel about this idea of changing the music on Temple Mount.
I think it's a brilliant idea because we're all about love. We're about love to other people. We're about love to other religions. We're about love to God. We're about love to each other. I think every religion, and it's true, either Muslims or Christians or Jews, everyone can celebrate and pray their lords in this beautiful and holy city, and it should remain that way. Freedom for all religions. And love and peace and,
Amen.
Woodstock of Temple Mount.
Thank you so much, Galit. Thank you so much. We love you. And as you heard, some beautiful words talking about the importance of changing the music on Temple Mount. There's a deep will, a strive in our hearts of all the people who are in part of the leadership of this country to change the music on Temple Mount. We're calling you, please, today, on Jerusalem Day, when we celebrate and mark the reunification of Jerusalem, the liberation of Temple Mount. We need your support. Please, today, on this day, go into our campaign page. We want to reach $100,000. And we're going to do it with your help. Just like we did it till today with your help. We need you to go in to Jerusalem55.org/SJF. And you'll find us. It's Change the Music, Jerusalem55.org. If you're in the United States of America, you can call 1-833-MORIAH-1. 1-833-MORIAH, M-O-R-I-A-H, 1, and you'll get there, and we'll take your contribution. We need it today more than ever. God bless you. Thank you from Jerusalem. And our next stop will be marching in the streets of Jerusalem with the parade of the flags, walking to the old city of Jerusalem. Don't go anywhere. Please, while you're waiting, go into our campaign page, press donate, and give whatever you can. We need you. Thank you so much. God bless you from Jerusalem.